Hey guys, welcome back to the Crippling Nailz Show. I'm Mike, the Crippler Cresta.
It's Johnny motherfucking Nailz.
Today we're going to be talking about the WWE Championship. We're going to talk about how it affects careers, and we're also going to talk about some other stuff regarding wrestling around the world. We're gonna start off today with the AJ Styles incident. So this seems to be the second time AJ Styles has hurt somebody.
All right. Well, before anything, 5 Moves of Doom, Crippling Nailz Show, Crippler, Nailz. Would like to extend condolences and get well wishes for Lionheart out in England, who was actually got
the one injured by AJ Styles.
Injured by AJ Styles when he was doing his Styles Clash.
Two fractures in his neck, but they said he can move his hands.
Yeah, he was moving everything. So
thank God. I'll post a tweet in a few seconds. I'll post up a little tweet, and you guys can actually see what he said. He's a classy dude.
Yeah, he's a classy dude, and everybody's sitting there saying that it wasn't foul play. Sometimes people get sandbagged.
Yeah.
Sometimes people sit there and they just sit there and completely screw people over. Something just bad luck, bad timing, and everything.
Yeah.
But
hopefully it makes
speedy recovery and get back in the ring, because definitely England's wrestling needs you.
Yeah. So. This is the second time AJ's effectively hurt somebody. I mean, the first time was Rodrick Strong.
I mean, he wasn't hurt for that long. I mean, he wasn't hurt that long. He's a classy guy, man. It's just sometimes you can have chemistry with people, sometimes you can't. I mean, you don't. I mean, Owen Hart and Stone Cold had great chemistry, but
I personally think that AJ's just not used to wrestling with these guys. These guys who are so fast paced.
If you think about it, in the last year and a half, though, has AJ really wrestled?
No, not really, man.
TNA used him as shit.
Magnus is really big. I don't remember him doing the Styles Clash to Magnus ever. He mostly wrestled Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Bobby Roode a few times.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, towards the end of the TNA contract, aside from when he came back, he really wasn't wrestling.
No,
which is the biggest difference. Now you have these guys, for example, who are wrestling year round, but AJ Styles hasn't wrestled. I don't think really much about it. I don't see anything behind it.
So the question is, who's at fault? Is it AJ or is it the guys he's wrestling with? Because the Rodrick Strong one looks like it's Rodrick Strong's fault.
Again,
I mean, Strong doesn't tuck his head. I
personally won't blame anybody. Again.
You think it's a freak accident?
It's just it's bad luck and bad timing. Again, we sit there and we see Gargano versus Rodrick Strong. It hasn't been a match. It's been a match that's happened before. Mm-hmm. We see. We saw a couple months ago in Final Battle. We saw Kevin Steen.
Yeah, Kevin Steen
versus Mike Bennett. They wrestled a couple of times.
And Bennett got
and his ass. And we're talking about. We've seen matches before where spots are they're not trained to be taken, but the chemistry is there where if me and you go out there in the ring, I trust you enough to know for a fact that, hey, we're gonna sit there, and if we say drop me on my head, I'm gonna tuck my head before I fall. It's all about chemistry. It's all about
so you think AJ's lacking? He doesn't have the chemistry with these guys yet.
It's not that age is lacking. I mean, obviously he hasn't wrestled, but in a while, consistently as he has been, it's only been 2 freak accidents in the last month and a half that he's been available. He hasn't had this with a lot of people, but it's just it will get better. As long as it's not like him purposely going out and hurting them.
Yeah. Do you think that it's because he kind of has more of a I don't give a shit personality right now? Like it seems like he doesn't really care.
Yeah, that's a gimmick. AJ Styles does care. I mean, I would hope any professional wrestler who goes out into that ring isn't going out there with that me first attitude. I mean, that would be the shittiest thing that anybody can do, because honestly, it's not just you out there.
Think about it. He goes from being TNA's golden boy. I mean, he is the equivalent. He is
going back to being Ring of Honor's golden boy. Okay, I'd rather be Ring of Honor's golden boy.
Well, Ring of Honor also has Steen, Steen is probably the top guy right now, like in terms of fan base, fan
reactions.
Steen's there. You have Chris Hero there. You have Adam Cole. Adam Cole's amazing.
You have the Briscoes. I mean, we can sit
they have some big time stars.
But again, AJ Styles it's like sitting here saying Taz with ECW. You have a reunion show for ECW. You have Taz come out. He's getting pop. It's like sitting here saying the Sandman for ECW. It's like sitting here saying Hulk Hogan, who got one of the loudest pops on Monday Night Raw this past Monday night, for the simple fact that he's one of their staples. Ring of Honor, one of the first wrestlers of Ring of Honor was AJ Styles. One of the first wrestlers for TNA was AJ Styles. So they go back to these companies. It's like, oh my God, we're getting Hogan back. We're coming home. If The Rock decides to come back, he's going to get a big pop, even though he doesn't deserve it.
Stone Cold will get a huge
pop.
But he hasn't been back in 10 years.
But Stone Cold really isn't a homegrown talent. Stone Cold is amazing.
Well traveled.
But I wouldn't put much behind it. I think AJ Styles is a great wrestler.
Okay. Well, so being that he's a great wrestler, do you think that he's one of the best wrestlers outside of mainstream wrestling, outside of WWE? That is mainstream wrestling.
I mean, he is one of the best people, and I would say he's probably one of the top people paid in the indie circuit. I mean, you would have to say AJ Styles is, Chris Hero is, Kevin Steen is, Adam Cole. Rodrick Strong is another great guy. The Briscoe brothers in itself. You have, for those who don't follow indie wrestling, I feel sorry for you guys, and please just get on it.
As we're listing these names, you should be writing them down and watching YouTube clips.
It's not big names, but just do remember Daniel Bryan, who goes by his Bryan Danielson. We have CM
came out of Dragon Gate.
We have Seth Rollins. You have
Tyler Black. That's what he would be known as.
Tyler Black in the scene. We have
Dean Ambrose, which is
John Moxley. You
Yeah.
have most of the wrestlers nowadays in the WWE.
El Generico, Sami Zayn. You guys,
Cesaro,
and you guys seen Claudio. He wrestled as Claudio.
Cesaro. He was Claudio Castagnoli, who was a tag team partner of Chris Hero. Now, if you haven't followed this, I suggest, my biggest suggestion is just go right ahead. Compared to the how much we paid for the Raw tickets, $80 to sit almost in the nosebleed section. For $20, you can literally sit there and feel like you're on top of the ring. We'll post some pictures up so you guys can see how far we are for $20 in a Ring of Honor show in the balcony.
Yeah, and that's gonna come in May most likely.
We are having we have some from the previous show.
From the previous show, yeah.
And I do have a couple at home that we can look for.
I have a really awesome video from that Ring of Honor show.
For $35 that we spent to sit second row at the Dragon Gate show, we're right there. We got to interact with the wrestlers, which is pretty awesome.
So, of some of the names that we've mentioned that are outside of WWE, forget anybody who's WWE or NXT right now. Do we think what are some names that people should look into?
I would
Samoa Joe.
First, I would say Samoa Joe.
Watch Samoa Joe's Ring of Honor.
But you know what? What you would do is go to ringofhonor.com, buy yourself the Samoa Joe DVD that they have. You would see, again, wrestling isn't about a look. You could be the fattest guy, most at-shape guy in the world.
He's not even pretty.
Go out there and put on a 5-star match. This guy went on and did it with CM Punk. This guy went and did 3 one-hour matches with CM Punk. It's called the CM Punk Samoa Joe Trilogy. And it's a big trilogy, and it's what put Ring of Honor on the map because these matches were awesome and incredible. You have Samoa Joe. You want to sit there, look, he was recently released by the WWE as Cassius Ohno, Chris Hero. Adam Cole. Rhett Titus, who has a big WWE look, who actually was part of like a little backstage segment with Vicky Guerrero and Ryback, if I'm not mistaken, a couple months ago as well. You have a lot of people in the indie scene who have the look, but for whatever reason they don't get it. Kevin Steen,
he's getting a tryout.
I was telling you before you went to the Ring of Honor show, which was your first Ring of Honor show, I told you have to look out for Kevin Steen. He doesn't have the WWE look. He looks like one of us. He's out of shape. He looks like if he was really in a fight, he would fucking kill you. But
he's a big guy.
When it comes to wrestling and when it comes to promo work, the guy is off the fucking bat.
Yeah. I still remember what he says. He says, "Oh, you don't want a stretcher? Fine. He ain't gonna walk out of this ring." Throw the stretcher backstage.
He's one person I would say would have benefited from Paul Heyman in ECW.
Yeah. Well, So the rumor is right now that Kevin Steen's getting a tryout.
I would hope.
There was another big name. I can't remember it right now.
Rodrick Strong.
Rodrick Strong. Which
Adam Cole, who is a Ring of Honor champion.
But Adam Cole's also up. He won't be able to try out for another year.
Yeah, but still.
Which will be around the same time Kurt Angle becomes a free agent.
Kurt Angle is actually now in September this year coming up. But I mean, I don't know if you remember what I told you. Their champion is named Adam Cole. Mm-hmm. He has the look.
Yeah.
Think Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, circa 1992-93 when he was battling for the IC belt.
Okay.
Think that charisma, that arrogance.
But he also has the size.
And
this guy's not 6'2". This guy's like 6'5".
This guy has the look. He has the presence, and he's actually very good technically.
Yeah.
He was part of Future Shock with Kyle O'Reilly before, and they went up against American Wolves and stole the show. It was a great tag team match, and Best in the World, if I'm not mistaken, was 2012 or 2011.
So we've mentioned AJ, we've mentioned Samoa Joe, Rodrick Strong, Kevin Steen,
Chris,
Adam Cole, Chris Hero.
Yeah.
Who from NJP do you think is
NJPW
is a big name that most people probably don't know about?
I would have to say most of them. Most of the roster. You have Okada, who's their champion at the moment. This guy went out and put up a 5-star match with Tanahashi last year. A couple of 5-star matches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I watch it and I could care less. All I know is I hear them random rambling. Oh, DDT. Oh, you know, whatever the case is. They name the names and the moves in English.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys go out there and they're stiff. These guys go out there and they work their gimmick, they work their matches, they work what they have in front of them. You know, doesn't it look like, you know, circa 2005 Batista versus Triple H, which was a big match for WWE.
Yeah, and
it looks more like, you know, Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat versus Macho Man, where it looks like it really does look like they're playing out there because it's so. It looks like they rehearsed it. It looks like they went out there and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It looks like a ballet.
Yeah, like a ballet.
It looks exactly like a ballet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Okada is one big name. You have Tanahashi, Prince Devitt, which we just got to try out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You have
Kenta also got
Kenta, who's he does the GTS as well over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, I would say Okada and Tanahashi though are the biggest names that could come over right now.
Okay. I would add Morrison, John Hannigan, which is what he's wrestling under now. He was WWE. You guys know him as Johnny Nitro, and I mean, I want him to come back. I think he would be. I think he fits.
I not to cut you off, sorry, but I think he fits only if he has a mouthpiece, because he's not.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good mic. Another name, Dragon Gate, Gargano.
Johnny Gargano
is good. The
AR Fox as well.
AR Fox. Let's give a shout out to AR Fox. We met AR Fox after his match. One of the coolest guys in the world. He took a photo with us.
Yes.
And the guy put on a hell of a show with Chris Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Great show. And I mean, oh my God, the shots that they put on each other.
Mm-hmm.
I can see AR Fox coming to WWE or TNA, but he has a WWE look.
He does. This guy's
he's talented enough to be very high mid card.
Yes, and possibly
the
push
guy.
The main event.
But the problem is that the WWE is going to get crowded at the top in the next couple of years because they have some serious talent.
Yes, they really do.
But that's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
that's a hell of a
I wouldn't be surprised since they haven't really unified the belts as it is.
Yeah.
If eventually they do split them back up again, because it's going to be so stacked that this is where they really need those 2 championships.
Yeah.
And eventually probably have a tournament of who's the better champion. No need to unify it if they have this surplus of talent.
So as Gargano said, my belt is bought. I did not earn this.
No.
This is not earned. I wish it was. Yeah. It's not. Do you believe that you need to earn the WWE belt to be considered one of the greatest of all time? To justify your career as a wrestler, do you
No.
believe that most of these
No,
wrestlers
so
grow
sit there.
up?
Now, I have a big question for you. Now,
Yeah.
you mean you've had the opportunity to win it and never won it, or you just don't care to go to the company?
No, I mean you want to go to the show to
You
win
want to
this.
go to the show and win this.
Yes.
Well, we have a wrestler by the name of Sting,
Yes.
who never has stepped foot in the WWE ring, and if he does, he will never battle for this
No, he
prestigious
won't. Of
belt
course he
here.
won't. Mhm.
He's but 54 years old. He would never get it.
But he'll
And
come to the show.
He probably will come, but you don't need this belt. Harley Race never won this belt.
Roddy Piper never won
Roddy
this belt.
Piper never won this belt.
Mhm.
Ted DiBiase never won this belt.
$1 Million Man.
$1 Million Man, one of the greatest workers of all
But
time.
he did have the $1 Million belt, which was
Roddy
a little better
Piper.
looking than this.
Roddy Piper, greatest mouthpiece of all time,
Mm.
one of the greatest performers of all time, never won this belt.
Oh, and never won it?
Owen never won it.
I'm trying to remember if Perfect ever won it.
Perfect never won it. Perfect's biggest title was the IC belt.
And
Now, sometimes this belt here is very, 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 very over. I don't know. I mean, it's not underrated at all. It's overrated
mhm.
in the sense that you've had these guys who are Hall of Famers and they never won it. Now you have John Cena, who needs to be in the title picture to feel like he's relevant. You
Yeah.
have guys like Triple H who needed to be in a title picture.
But you
once
also have guys
they
like
started
Shawn
winding down.
and
Now you
and
have
Taker.
guys like Shawn and Taker who could go out there and go put on matches. And
Yeah.
yeah, they challenged for it, but never won it.
Yeah.
Taker did start winning the World Heavyweight Championship when he was leading SmackDown. He
Mhm.
was winning the World Heavyweight Championship, but
I think he's only a 5-time champion though.
he's six-time champion.
Yeah.
He is a six-time champion.
And
But look at this. Taker had a 20-year career with the WWE. That he was working consistently and
Mhm.
only won a belt 6 times.
Shawn-
John Cena has only been in the company for about 13 years and already has 14.
16, isn't it? No,
He's at 14 championship rings.
and he'll get to 17.
And he'll
before
probably
he's
get
done.
to 17 before he's done.
Yeah.
I am sorry. We do not need. You
Well,
do not need this belt.
My take is, I think as a wrestler, I think growing up, I think everybody dreams of holding this belt.
Of course. Listen, to
I
this
think-
day, I've always thought about going to wrestling school, and you know what? If I would have the opportunity and go to WWE, if I do ever get as talented as I wish I can be, maybe I would be good on the mic. I'm not scared to speak in front of audiences, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But when it comes back, I wouldn't feel incomplete without winning this belt.
Mhm.
I wouldn't feel. I personally wouldn't, because you know what? As long as I can perform and go out, you know what? Aside from CM Punk a couple of years ago, putting in WrestleMania 28 with Chris Jericho,
Mhm.
putting on a hell of a match for this belt. When was the last time you can recall that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, not the WCW one, NWA Big Gold Belt,
Mhm.
you know, when it was a spinner.
Talking this bad boy.
This bad boy here. When was the
Mhm.
last time you could sit there and say that match had a great match for WrestleMania?
For WrestleMania.
For WrestleMania, which is what you want.
Oh,
Because
man.
even then, for example, great match, it's not going to be close. It's not closing out the show.
Yeah. I mean, Benoit, Triple H, and
Well,
Shawn.
that was for the big gold belt, though. That was not for this
Yeah,
one.
that's right.
Because
Eddie
Eddie had that. Eddie had
this
that.
one. Yeah, that's right.
You
You're
know,
right.
you have Lesnar versus Angle, which is a good match.
Well, it was
It's
a good match,
botch,
except for the botch, yeah.
you know. You
Um,
have, this belt really.
I feel like John
much.
Cena's been the last 5 main events for this belt.
Yes.
I don't know why.
And he has.
I mean, I guess you'd have to go all the way back to the Iron Man match to say that there's been one really good match before the Jericho
You had
Punk match.
you had Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels, kind of passing the torch, but the match wasn't all that.
Mhm.
Michaels was hurt. You had WrestleMania 2000 main event, which wasn't bad, but I think they had the wrong assets in there.
Mhm.
Now you have, Austin Rock at 17.
That one, it's an epic match. I think
Which
that
was
was
an epic
that was
match.
the third one. in
That's the
series,
second
yeah?
one.
Second
That's
one
the
in the
second
series,
one.
yeah.
Third one didn't have the belt.
Yeah, the third one
Now-
was just a grudge match.
Even foregoing that question. Now the biggest question is, what are the biggest rivalries you can make that don't even need the belt? Look at the last 5 WrestleMania matches for Undertaker. None of them had a belt in
Yeah.
question.
Not at all. Though the CM Punk storyline would have been awesome if he was 500 day
Streak
champion.
versus title.
That would've
But
been-
obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But again, we're naming big name wrestlers: Michaels, Taker. I mean, Lesnar now because he's going to be around a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Sean, my big
even Austin at the end didn't need the title.
Yeah.
You know, you're not bigger than the title. Obviously, the title is the biggest thing.
Of course.
But in my personal opinion, you don't need this belt.
If I was Samoa Joe right now, I'm getting the push from TNA.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to win the title against Magnus at Lockdown.
I would hope.
I would believe that my career would not be complete without holding WWE Gold.
No, by WWE Gold, you mean
any belt?
Any belt?
Any belt.
Even if it's the low card belt?
Yeah, even if it's Intercontinental.
I think
wrestling for WWE is...
Yes. That I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with you. If you sit down and you say, hey, my dream is to be a jobber in WWE.
The Brooklyn Brawler. Zack Ryder. The guy from 3MB that nobody can remember his name.
Jinder Mahal.
The other guy.
Heath Slater.
There you go. Heath Slater.
Listen, everybody's dream.
Alex Riley.
My dream when I was younger was to play for the New York Yankees. Yeah. That was my dream. I'm very big on baseball, and you know what? I would have been fine with being signed and being drafted to any Major League Baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Major League.
This is the Yankees.
This is the 30 teams that represent Major League Baseball. This is the 28, I think it is, or 30 teams as well that represent the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
32 teams that represent the NFL. Same amount of teams or whatever case is the NHL. This is the major promotion.
This is the big show.
This is the show.
Yeah.
This is what you want to try to accomplish. Doesn't matter if you're doing mid-card. Doesn't matter if you're doing heavyweight. Doesn't matter if you're opening the belt or the person putting the ring together.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be in this company.
So let's ask this. Now that the whole CM Punk thing seems to be coming to a fold, all right? What's more important? Headlining with this belt or headlining?
Headlining. The last
match. Going on last. And I think that's what he was trying to say.
The WWE title hasn't gone on last in a while. And to be quite honest with you...
But it went on last year.
Yeah, I mean, that really wasn't going on last year. You really can't... You
Champion.
knew exactly what was going to happen. You knew exactly The Rock was not going to...
By the way, this belt is massively fucking heavy.
You knew The Rock was not going to leave champion. I mean, we would give creative too much. Well, I mean, I underestimated them the very first time because I thought that John Cena was going to win. I was telling people, should have been what should have happened. I was telling people, look, I think John Cena's going to win, but I have this feeling they're in Miami. I have a feeling The Rock's going to win. Over. And again,
that belt. By the way, that match wasn't for the belt.
When's the last time this bad boy had a match at WrestleMania that meant something? When's the last time that it had something and it sat there and that when WrestleMania finished, the champ was holding it like that in the air, and it wasn't John Cena?
That's true.
Now that's the question you asked.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for
5.
Yeah.
Moves of Doom. Thank you for joining us.
Check out all our stuff. Like us. And make sure that you follow everything that we do.
Believe me, guys.
Later, man.